So, if you've been stuck wondering where to start when transitioning from one-on-one coaching or consulting work into more passive streams of income, then this video is for you. I'm going to teach you how to figure out how to choose and position the right scalable offer for your business, as well as make sure that what you're building really matches and aligns with your capacity, your strengths, and how you really want to run your business. Because one thing we are not doing is trying to add on more hours. That is exhausting AF, okay? And while we're looking for passive streams anyway. You want to build a business that runs smoothly with structure, focus, profitability, and more important, less of you. So let's talk about the reality of this transition because you don't have to burn your whole business down or completely stop the way that you've been doing business in order for you to build something that gives you more peace and more profitability. You know, a lot of people think that creating more passive scalable offers means that you completely cut off doing one-on-one coaching and consulting work, and that's simply not the case. I certainly didn't do it that way, especially at the beginning. I simply created passive streams of income with offers that were way more scalable. And then I began to ease down my one-on-one work bit by bit based on what made sense for me and what made sense for my clients. I simply start with what felt doable for my energy, my audience, and my bandwidth because I am all about the exhale, okay? So the first thing I did was assess who was and who wasn't signing up for my one-on-one services. And I did fall into the trap that was popular back then that if they felt that you were valuable and you positioned yourself well, then they will find a way to pay you. But that is not always the case, especially in the personal finance industry, right? I know they wanted help. They needed it. So they weren't saying no to me or because they didn't think that I was worth it. I know they did. Or they didn't believe that I was the one who can help them transform their finances, or even because they didn't want the transformation. I know they wanted all these things. They were saying no because of the price, the timeline, maybe the commitment, or it could have even been the fact that they weren't quite ready for that level of support yet, which is fine. But that's when I realized that I'm just not creating a scalable offer itself. I also have to think about where their offer fits in my business. So I asked myself, what do these potential clients actually need right now? Because obviously they couldn't get that higher level of service that my one-on-one services would help them to achieve, right? I asked, how can I support them without overloading myself or my team? Because that is reserved for my one-on-one work. And then after my clients were done with my agency work or my one-on-one work, what else do they need? Because you're not just building an offer. I wasn't just building an offer. I was making sure it was in the right spot because some offers will fill a gap at the beginning of the customer's journey in your business, like a digital product or a workshop that can prep them for your full services. And then others will give them continued support after you've already done your main work with them. And this can be a membership, a mastermind, or a low-lift consulting container. So that's what I want you to think about. Where does this scalable offer fit? Is it the core? Is it the starter? Is it the follow-up? And how does it let you serve more people without adding more work to your plate or your team's plate? And then once you answer that, choosing the scalable offer will get a whole lot easier. So here's how I did it. So at the very center is our main, or was our main, core services, or agency services. I mentioned in the previous video that when I first scaled, we went from working one-on-one to an agency service where we hired consultants, coaches, processes, etc., who would do all of the heavy lifting, and we were CEOing, strategy and all of that good stuff. However, we also noticed that there was a need for people who were either not eligible or not quite ready or couldn't afford our agency services, and that's when we went over to digital product. We wanted to solve that first simply because there was more of them. So we figured, how can we capture the market that did not sign up and still lead them to their transformation? So it started off with do-it-yourself kits. And we had one for budgeting and we had a DIY credit repair kit for credit. Eventually, and that lasted for a little bit, we still have it, Snatch Back Your Credit. Eventually, we went to evergreen courses and we stuck with one singular thing, and that is collections or bossing up your budget or getting out of debt, etc. But we kept it very focused and tight, right? So that they can go in and buy what they needed to get their transformation. And then afterwards, we focused on what level of service could we give those who graduated from our agency services. And that's how we created our membership model. This was great for recurring revenue. It allowed us to expand on topics that we didn't address in our agency services, such as investing and insurance and estate planning and all of that good stuff, as well as set up referral partnerships and affiliate marketing with people and products that we know, loved, and trusted. So this is how I personally was able to develop that recurring revenue. And this is also another point here, right? Because I didn't just do digital products and online courses and a membership model for recurring revenue, but I should have also put another bullet on there for referral/affiliate marketing. That was huge, 5 figures every single month. So this is kind of the ecosystem that I personally used in my company in order to scale to the next level with both passive income and agency services. Now, over in the corner here, you see one-on-one. I did not get rid of it right away, as I mentioned before. I simply made it high ticket. So it may look like it's all lonely in the corner, and that's because I did not do that many. Okay, if somebody had a digital product, then they can pay for a one-on-one short type of consultation with a consultant or a coach in our agency services. If they were a part of our membership, then they would get time with me through a hot seat session where I would bring them on and discuss one-on-one with them. And then if somebody wanted to bypass all of that and work one-on-one with me, just us, then it would be a more higher ticket item. So I took myself from working one-on-one, not as much, right? Not getting paid as much, to now them being able to get their level of transformation at different levels. And if they wanted to work with me, it's now going to be at a higher investment because of the exclusive access. Okay. So none of this happened overnight. Every step was based on real needs, mine and theirs. And most importantly, it was built around not just how much I wanted to make, how much I wanted to earn, but also how I wanted to live, lifestyle, freedom, time, all of that good stuff. Now let's talk about how to decide which offer to start with, which scalable offer to start with, because that's where a lot of people get stuck. They think that they have to create this big course or design a full group coaching program right away. But the best starting point is always going to be based on your energy, your clients, and your capacity, which I talked about previously. So let's walk through 4 questions that you are going to find your answer. The first one is, what is already working? What are people asking for already? What do your clients say they love most about working with you? What results do you already know how to deliver? And you're going to find this information in your client wins, your DMs, your emails, repeat questions that you're asked. So if you have templates that are changing people's lives, that's a digital product. If people love your guidance, that could be a group coaching program. If they keep asking, can I prick your brain? That could be an AI bot packed with specific teachings and frameworks that will eventually lead them to your core higher ticket offer. So you don't need to guess because your audience is already telling you what they want. The key is to package it in a way that doesn't rely on you and your team on a daily basis. You do need to listen differently. So instead of asking, what can I launch? What can I launch? Start asking, what are they already trying to get from me now? And how can I give it to them without burning myself out or my team? The second question is, what do you actually want to be doing? This is important because if you don't enjoy the way that you're delivering the work, you'll eventually stop selling it. So ask yourself, are you energized by live teaching, or would you rather record and then automate the delivery? Do you want to create assets, record trainings, or coach in real time? Do you want a small team, or do you prefer to run things solo dolo with smart systems and automations? I know when I was in the agency model, I thought like building a team was the way to scale. But once I had kids and moved abroad, I didn't want to spend my days in meetings or on Zoom calls. So I built a business that let me teach, create, and support without all of the people heavy pressure. So it wasn't about quitting the business as it was. It was really about reimagining how the business fit into my life. So if you can't stand the idea of weekly calls, then you may not want to create a group program with live support. You will want to think of something that's more asynchronous. And if you like creating assets and being behind the scenes, then a toolkit or a self-paced course might be a better fit. And if you love coaching but hate launching, then a rolling enrollment group or evergreen one-on-one intensive might be the sweet spot that you're looking for. As long as your audience is getting what they need for their transformation and you are delivering, that's really all that matters. The third question is, what can be delivered without you? I want you to ask yourself, what part of your processes can be automated, and what can be delegated, and what can be turned into a repeatable system to follow? I remember I used to do custom budgeting plans for every single client. Then I started to notice common patterns and I created templates. Then I recorded a walkthrough. Then I set up automations to deliver it. Then it began to sell every week without me having to lift a finger. And that's when I realized that I wasn't just creating a product, right? I was creating time. Scaling doesn't always mean going bigger. Sometimes it means getting out of the way. And if you've been doing the same onboarding steps or writing the same emails or teaching the same content every single client call, you're already sitting on the structure for a product or a systemized scalable offer. And finally, the fourth question is what fits your season of life right now? I already mentioned that when I moved abroad, I did not want to live on Zoom. I wanted freedom and exhale in my day. And that's why I built Lean and Simple. Okay. So if you are in a season where your energy is low or your time is limited, start with something light to deliver, like a digital product. Okay. If you're craving connection but need boundaries around it, then maybe a small group program will be a good fit for you. If your bandwidth is tight, but your voice is strong, then you can record a mini course and sell it on demand evergreen. Season shift, priority change, and your offer should flex with you. You don't want to feel trapped by them. You want to match the offer to your needs and your strengths. And you don't need to do what everybody else is doing, okay? You need to do what works for you right now. So once you've chosen your offer type, you have got to position it clearly. And positioning is what your offer is known for, how people see it, and how they describe it when they are telling someone else about it, whether it's why they bought it, why they wish they had bought it, or why they should buy it. So positioning is what is going to make your offer stand out in a market full of copycats. It's the difference between, that's just another product, to that is the product, the course, the offer that finally helped me to achieve X, Y, and Z. So let's go over some examples. If we're talking digital products, then they should solve a very specific problem. Whether it's a system or a template, it has to be tight and useful. I want you to think, what is the aha that they can walk away with in 30 minutes or less? And it doesn't have to be like super cheap. I know there's a lot of $27 products out there. I saw a digital product for $700 in the legal industry. So your industry, your topic, and your offer suite matters. If we are talking group program, then support and structure matters. People are not paying for access to your group program. They are paying for outcomes. They're joining because they want to be led by you. They want your method and they want to move faster, smarter with someone who is already in the know and who's already been there. Now let's talk digital courses. This should be a step-by-step blueprint. Someone needs to solve a recurring problem and this course is it. So even if they watch half of the class, they should still get some kind of win. And finally, if we're talking consulting work, then your offer should deliver high-level clarity, big picture insights, and strategy that they can't get anyone else because they are not paying for your time. A lot of consultants think that. They are paying for your brain, your lens, your strategic decision-making power, okay? And I want you to remember that you do not need like 10 different offers. You don't need a gazillion of one of them. You need one, structured, position, aligned with the way that you want to show up, one that is easy to talk about and describe, that's simple to sell, and that delivers real results without draining the life out of you. So here's what I want you to take away. Start with what you can deliver consistently. Focus on what already works and then design a solution that solves one clear problem for the people that you're here to serve. You want to create something that fits your life, your time, your energy, as well as a transformation that your audience is already asking for. And in the next video, I'm going to walk you through the sales side of things because building a scalable offer is one thing, but selling it without constantly burning yourself out with never-ending launches or posting all day is another. So I'm going to show you my exact system for selling on repeat without constantly launching or being online all day, every day. So make sure that you smack that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a thing. And I will see you in the next one.